Check out their website. I appreciate all the love. Check out the website. Check out the website. Exotic Lifestyles. We in here with a new live. Like, share, comment, support, subscribe, all that good stuff. As y'all can see in the description, Trump, I want to send my condolences. My prayers go out to Texas. So if you got anybody in Texas, please, please, please check on your family. The death toll is rising and it keeps going up, y'all. So we gonna bring y'all a Breakfast Club report. Trump claims he's gonna go visit the flood site, which is probably just for promotional purposes, so smack yourself. So we got the Breakfast Club. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get it started, yo. We've got the Breakfast Club, DJ Envy.
That ass up in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, how y'all feeling?
You sound tired. You sound like
no. You all right?
Yeah, no, this, just watching, what's going on in Texas is all, and it is just the devastating situation is all. Yeah, so I'll get into it first on front page. Yeah, so the devastating situation in Central Texas following that catastrophic flooding event continues to develop. Now, Governor Greg Abbott reports that the death toll remains above 100, with more than 160 people still unaccounted for. Now, speaking from rural Hunt in western Kerr County, Abbott emphasized that search and rescue efforts or recovery efforts will continue relentlessly until every last person is located. He also addressed the criticism around, those weather warning systems, and here's what he had to say.
Just in the Kerr County area alone, there are 161 people who are known to be missing. To put this into perspective, there are far more fatalities than there were in Hurricane Harvey. My focus isn't on trying to say, oh, you did wrong or you should have done better there. My job is to bring Texas and Texans together.
Is that your job? So y'all already know what's going on with that sponsorship. I apologize. So I got to do my own live sponsor. Please support the website, you guys. Please support the website. When you click on the website, you will see who. You will see Exotic Lifestyles, LLC.com. And that will pop up for you. So please support. I want to double salute, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We're going to get back to that live, guys.
So Abbott went on to say that the heart of Texans are breaking every day because of this event. He also took a helicopter tour over the worst affected regions, expressing that he was deeply moved by the extent of the devastation. And he went on.
My apologies
To say that President Trump's immediate granting of the major master declaration has been speeding up recovery efforts. Meanwhile, at the White House yesterday, President Trump held a cabinet meeting and he praised Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem for her response to the flooding event. Now, Trump also told reporters that Noem's response was vital and that she got people there as fast as anyone's seen. Noem also spoke about federal resources being used in Texas. Let's take a listen to their comments.
I think a lot of lives have been saved. That could have been as bad as it was. Yeah, you could have lost double or triple.
We deployed right away the Coast Guard. We also had some assets out of Customs and Border Protection. Our board TAC teams went in.
So Noem also called the flooding a tragedy, especially noting that the little girls, that there were little girls from that Camp Mystic who passed away as well. She also talked about how she walked through that devastation and walked through those cabins where those girls went missing and they were later found dead. She added that the parents who come to the flooding camps are also met with grief counselors. Now, Trump, of course, confirmed he will visit the areas flooded in Central Texas on Friday. And I think it's important to note that as this continues to develop, there's so many people that have been impacted. Families have lost their homes, communities shattered, and children. There are still people who are missing, and the need is urgent. And the Community Foundation of Texas Hill Country has launched their Kerr County Flood Relief Fund to support those impacted. All donations go directly to trusted and vetted organizations that will provide food, shelter, healthcare, and hope. So you can donate to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund at communityfoundation.net. That's communityfoundation.net. Switching gears, guys. You see what happened with the Supreme Court yesterday? If you missed it, the Supreme Court will allow the Trump administration to resume plans to carry out massive job cuts across federal agencies. So all those job layoffs and stuff that was going on, there was a little pause on that, but the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, has said, you know what, go on. So justices lifted
Donald Trump Supreme Court. We know this.
Well, yeah, I mean, he did appoint most of those. But justices lifted the district judge order blocking the large-scale federal layoffs that could potentially impact hundreds of thousands of jobs. The Supreme Court said it was not assessing the legality of any specific plans for layoffs at the federal agencies, but President Trump signed an executive order in February directing agencies to prepare for the government overhaul. So expect that if you work for a government agency, there's a possibility that plans could be carried out to incorporate more of those layoffs coming.
Plans could be laid out to fire you. I want to go back to the flooding in Texas, man. That story hurts my soul. Yeah. When I say that story hurts my soul, because we all got kids. You're sending your kids off to camp for the summer, and then you get some news like that. I feel sorry for those parents. I'm sending healing energy to those parents, and I'm praying for the souls of those kids, the ones who passed away and the ones that are still missing. Absolutely. And I see people pointing the finger. Right? Isn't a flash flood sudden?
It is.
So how do you prepare for that?
They tell you that it's Mother Nature, so things happen. You don't know how crazy it's going to get, how much downpour it's going to get. But I will say one thing. I feel like this happens a lot with Mother Nature, right? There's always flooding. There's always, especially with flooding and rain. And I feel like they haven't control the sewer system yet to make sure that the water goes in certain ways, because we see it all the time. We see it in Jersey, we see it in Atlanta, we see it in Texas, but it just seems like the infrastructure never gets fixed.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, even with this particular situation, this camp was actually located along a riverbed, so the Guadalupe River, but and just where it was located, it was like in the valley of that bed, very close to the river. So to your point, Envy, it's like, well, what can you do about the infrastructure, and what can you do when it comes to you versus Mother Nature?
There's nothing you can do versus you versus Mother Nature. You versus an earthquake, you versus a hurricane, you versus a tornado. I mean, some things you might can prepare for, but that don't mean you're gonna survive it.
So
we see it a lot. We hear people's houses getting flooded over and over again, and it just seems like something has to change. Like, we know it's gonna happen in certain areas. Sometimes it just happens. There's nothing you can do. Like, it's Mother Nature. But sometimes it's the same areas over and over and over and over again. It just seems like nothing ever fixes. We never fixed it.
And because of climate change, things have gotten worse. A lot of these storms and these floodings are much, much worse than they were.
That's true. That is true. Well, if you are moved to donate again, the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund at communityfoundation.net. I've got more front page news at 7, so stick around, guys.
So y'all already know we got to come up with our sponsor, which is brought to you by Exotic Lifestyles. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys. Like, share, and subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let's get back to it, you guys.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, just hilarious. Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Yeah, let's talk about what's happening in international news. So President Trump is expressing his unhappiness with Russian President Vladimir Putin. While speaking to his cabinet yesterday at the White House, Trump told reporters the war in Ukraine is causing thousands of deaths. Let's take a listen to his comments. President Trump.
I'm not happy with Putin. I can tell you that much right now, because he's killing a lot of people. And a lot of them are his soldiers. His soldiers and their soldiers, mostly.
So this comes as President Trump has been trying to hammer out a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, and lately has put most of the blame for the continued fighting on Putin. Now, according to those comments, Trump indicated that Russia's military took on a lot of casualty, and BBC News reports that estimates for Russian military casualties range from 500,000 to maybe 580,000 killed as of June 12, 2025. But the BBC News also indicates that those number of casualties could be even higher because they're not, well, at least they're not releasing the, they believe that Russia's not releasing the correct numbers out of that region anyways, whether it be on civilian casualties or military casualties. Elsewhere on the international front, President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met again yesterday in Washington, D.C. Trump said they spoke exclusively about the war in Gaza. The president said they got to get that solved, adding that Steve Witkoff, his special envoy, said they're hopeful to have an agreement to a 60-day ceasefire by the end of the week. Now, Witkoff said it would include the release of 10 live hostages by Hamas, as well as the return of the bodies of 9 hostages as well. So that's what's happening on the international front. Meanwhile, here at home, let's take it to California on the West Coast. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass and California Governor Gavin Newsom are condemning an armed deployment of federal immigration agents in Los Angeles' historic MacArthur Park. Now, federal agents and military vehicles descended on the park earlier this week, but details as to why were not immediately made available. Mayor Bass, who came to the park as soon as she heard the news spread, called the situation absolutely outrageous. Let's take a listen to her comments.
To me, this is another example of the administration ratcheting up chaos by deploying what looked like a military operation in an American city. I could see a helicopter in the air. I think it was a Black Hawk helicopter. And I saw military tanks. It was the Custom and Border Patrol, and it might have been military on the periphery.
So she said that it's part of a political agenda of provoking fear and terror, while California Governor Gavin Newsom says he also claims the operation was politically motivated and disruptive to one of Los Angeles' most vulnerable communities. I think this is important to pay attention to because there has been an increase in ICE raids across the country, not only in LA, but also in New Jersey, Texas, and even here in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And if, just switching gears, if you're catching a flight soon, the TSA is ending its shoe removal policy at some airport security checkpoints.
I don't like that. I pay for TSA pre-check. Okay? All right. What am I paying for TSA pre-check for if everybody can keep their shoes on?
That is not the only thing that you can
keep your laptop in your bag.
It's your shoes in your laptop.
I barely travel with my laptop.
I was going to say, my friend said the same thing Charlamagne is saying. But according to multiple reports, the agency sent an internal memo to security officers about testing the new policy and a soft launch at security checkpoints. Several locations where shoes will no longer need to come off include Baltimore, Washington International Airport, that's BWI here, New York's LaGuardia, LAX, Philadelphia International, and Fort Lauderdale International Airport. And this is effective immediately. So if you got a flight going out today, lucky you get to save your socks. But TSA is exploring new and innovative ways. This is what the agency said. They're exploring new and innovative ways to enhance the passenger experience. I'm not sure what that means for you, though, Mr. Charlamagne.
Well, I could tell them what it means. We pay for these things just because we're trying to get through security faster.
And they keep adding things. So at first it was pre-checked, it was clear, they have digital ID.
I got both.
Yeah.
I got all 3.
I got both. So it's like for me, I just want I want it to be expedited. I want to get through there fast. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
But do you
that's
think
crazy.
flying down is down overall, considering all of what's going on? And so maybe in the, I don't know how to put it, but in the grand scheme of things, maybe that those who have the TSA pre-check, I don't know how to put it.
If everybody can get it, I'm just about to start going through the regular line
That's
again because
essentially what I'm
everybody got
getting at,
there.
is that maybe-
Everybody got TSA pre-check. Everybody got the digital ID crap. So it's
Yeah.
like,
But you fly every weekend like I do.
Every week.
It
No
is-
matter if you
the
pay or
airports don't be
not.
packed like that anymore.
no,
Packed
like that.
airports is
But
like
it's
That's
also
what I'm
not a
getting
lot
at,
of flights
is that
going out
maybe-
either.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's essentially what I'm getting at, is that flights are down, airports, people aren't traveling as much. They ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? So
They
is
trying
this
to
a way
make it an experience where everybody book. Just because I can keep my shoes on, I'm gonna go fly out.
There we try.
Exactly.
Sticks,
They
right?
trying.
But that's your front page news. All right, y'all. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on socials at Morgan Media, and for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. We've got an amazing roundtable coming out today about Diddy, by the way. So I hope you guys check out that conversation at BINnews.com. It airs at noon. So,
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan.
Wake that ass up early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
And there we have it, you guys. The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club. Leave in the comments what you think. Like, share, subscribe, comment, support, all that good stuff. If you could take 2 seconds to hit that play button, take extra 2 seconds and support Exotic Lifestyle. Say it with a smile, you guys. Y'all already know we vibe in and we vibe out on Exotic Lifestyle. Say it with a smile. We're gonna leave y'all with the website. That is the promo page. If you didn't know, Exotic Lifestyles. Let's go.
Are you single?
I am.